In this video, we will see the difference of difference and symmetrical difference algorithm in QGIS. We have one input layer and one overlay layer. If we use the difference algorithm, the input layer's non-intersected portion will only be kept and the intersected portion will be removed, and totally the overlay layer will not be added. So this will be like this. Output should be something like this. And if we use the symmetrical difference algorithm, then the both layers, input and overlay layers, non-intersected portion will be kept, but the intersected portion will be removed. So the output will be like this. The intersected portion is not included in the final output layer. So let's see how to do that. First, let's create the polygon layers. For that, let's go to layer and create layer. For now, we will create the temporary scratch layer. So click on new temporary scratch layer and let's rename it input, and geometry type should be polygon, and then let's click on the OK button. Now we have one input layer. Let's create a shape in input layer. Click on add polygon feature and we will use circle. Let's draw a circle. And now we will create another temporary scratch layer for overlay layer. Click on layer, create layer and new temporary scratch layer. Let's rename it overlay, and geometry type should also be polygon, and OK. Now let's click on this add polygon button and circle. Now we will create another circle overlapping the previous one. And save this one and stop editing, and also for the input save and stop editing. Now we'll change the symbology a little bit so that the common portion can be easily visible. We need to increase the transparency. So go to properties and opacity, let's make it 80%, and OK. And also for the overlay layer, properties, and make it 80%. OK. Now we can see through the overlay layer. So this is the common portion. Now let's see how we can use the difference and symmetrical difference algorithm. First, we will use the difference algorithm. Difference algorithm will remove the common portion of both layers and also remove the overlay layer totally. So we will get only this portion, non-intersected portion of input layer. So let's go to processing toolbox and then vector overlay and click on difference. Input layer, let's select our input layer and overlay layer, overlay. And if you want to save this, you can select the output location. But for the time being, we will use the temporary layer. So let's run this and close. If we hide input and overlay, you can see that the input layers non-intersected portion is only kept and other intersected portion is removed, and overlay layer is not totally visible here. But if we want to keep both the layers non-intersected portion from input and overlay and remove only the common portion, intersected portion, then we should use the symmetrical difference algorithm. Now let's see that. Under vector overlay, go to the symmetrical difference, and input layer should be our input layer and overlay layer is overlay. Let's save it temporary layer as well, and let's run and close. If we turn off input and overlay, you can see that the both layers, input layers non-intersected portion and overlay layers non-intersected portion is kept in the final layer, final output layer, but intersected portion of both layer is removed. Thanks for watching.